This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Here at the Brilliance Plus Passion Project, our goal is to spotlight folks who make the world a better place by being part of it and by their contributions to it. And what's really cool about this is my opportunity to speak with people in person and introduce them to you as the listeners and followers in a way that we don't typically get to do just through random, ordinary social media interactions. This project came to light about a year and a half ago because I realized that there are so many folks I interact with on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And do I really want to be chatting in the DMs endlessly? Or do we want to step this up and create real connections? That's why we're here. And today I'm going to introduce you to somebody who I had the opportunity to connect with a few weeks ago. I've been following him online for a couple months since he and I exchanged friend requests. And he made a post about things that happen with friends and family as you develop and grow as an entrepreneur. Your world changes, the people in it change. And we kind of hit it off from there. He became a part of one of my new Facebook groups. And we had a couple great online chats. And I said, come on over to the podcast. Let's do this. So his name is Michael Douglas. He's known as TheCryptoMD. And he's coming to us today from Florence, South Carolina. So just to share with you briefly, and he's going to tell you more about it himself. He's a blockchain digital marketing consultant and online revenue acceleration coach. And he'll tell you more about what he does and how it benefits you in just a moment. But right now, let's introduce him. Michael Douglas, welcome aboard. Great to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me, Adam. I'm excited. Glad
Absolutely. So the first question we have is, how does the work that you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the world at large?
Well, I empower entrepreneurs to grow into the best version of themselves. I educate others on the benefits of entrepreneurship and the becoming their own bank via the blockchain. And I inspire normal people to do better by planting seeds of greatness in them. I make winning normal for everyone around me. I hope that sums it up.
That sums it up pretty nicely. So what is it you actually do in your own words?
All right. So at this point right now, I'm focusing on my revenue acceleration coaching and social media. So I help high-performing digital creators go from 6 to 7 figures using their Facebook profiles only with no ad spend so they can actually have the life that they want to live.
Mm-hmm. I love that. We hear a lot of folks who have had various complaints about dealing with Facebook advertising in particular in their platform. I tried it, and it seems like the people who work at Facebook went out of their way just to piss me off. Like, hey, you know what? My United States currency is green. It'll spend somewhere else. So take your stupid algorithms and your idiotic management who insist on looking at a cat and calling it a dog, and I'll just go somewhere else. And I know a lot of other folks have these same experiences, and they're looking for, well, how can I use this platform knowing that Facebook is free, which means I'm the product, but how do I use that to turn that into revenue? And that's part of what I do with the Reach system is help people look at innovative ways to use podcasting, list building, writing your book, and other modalities, and merge that with a social media strategy that gets you traction, connections, and clients without ad spend. So you and I are parallel to each other in some ways. But
Yes.
let me put myself in the position of somebody who's curious about you, as our audience is. So in your experience, what are a few of the FAQs, the most common questions people in general have when they're asking you about what you do?
Well, the first one is, how long does it take to work? And then they want to know how much work do I have to put in? And then they want to know, when do I get my Lambo? So that's pretty much how it goes. And that was me being facetious. Of course, they don't ask when they get their Lambo, but they always want to know, when is it going to work? When are they going to get the results? That's what everybody wants.
Yeah. What are a few questions you wish people would ask?
Now, that is a great question. I actually had to do some thinking on this. So, do I really understand their pain is one question I wish they asked, because I do. And do I really have the solution? Because I do. And am I trustworthy? Because I am. I have the testimonials to prove it. So I don't want to get into all the pitchy, but yeah, those are the 3 questions I wish they would ask.
Absolutely. So this is the part where we get to have fun with this. And let's shift gears. And we're going to find out a few things about you, Michael Douglas, as a human being, and help our listeners get to know you better. So first of all, what would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
That my favorite television show is Jeopardy.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. If they really, really know me, they know that. But the ones
All
that
right.
think they know me and they don't really know me, they have no clue that Jeopardy is actually my favorite television show. Anything other than sports, that's the only thing I watch on television for the most part.
Wow. So basically for you, it's sports and Jeopardy.
Yeah, I love learning, man. I'm addicted to learning. Can't help it.
Yeah.
And I'm competitive too. I compete with myself on there.
Yeah. I actually would not have guessed the Jeopardy thing, not because I don't see you as being intellectual or anything. Actually, I've always seen you as a thinking man, in the sense of how you would classically identify a thinker, an analyzer, somebody who has natural curiosity. But Jeopardy, that just never occurred to me. So, man, you got me. Now, what do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
Well, I hope they say that, I'm a person that really loves helping people, first and foremost. Whether money's involved or not, I just want to see people do better. I'm passionate about helping people. And, I just want people to know that. And when I leave the room, I hope that's what they're saying about me, that, he's a really good guy. He really, really wants to help people. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and change one thing you've done, one thing you've experienced, one thing that's happened, what would it be and why?
Now, this is the question that really, really kind of stumped me a little bit, because I have no regrets. I really don't.
Okay.
I had a lot of ups and downs in my life. I had a lot of things not go right. And, I really don't have any regrets. But just just to make me, stretch my mind a little bit and think about some things that maybe I could have did a little differently, I think I probably would go ahead and get that degree instead of quitting in my last semester of college.
Okay.
It could have, helped me get in some doors that I don't necessarily have access to right now,
Well, and again, that's just some people's impressions. I personally am seeing some changes in how people look at whether or not you have a higher level education. I mean, we're nowhere near the idea that people are actually going to look at experience more than degrees. And I'm the first one to tell you, I have folks ask me all the time, well, why did you waste your money on an MBA? Because I have an MBA. And I tell them, I'm probably one of the few people whose MBA actually monetized.
Right.
Some folks use their MBA to get into a middle management track and they get a little bit more money in their paycheck. How I monetize my MBA is those 3 letters impressed a high ticket corporate type client. They're actually an entrepreneurial venture. They were a startup, but they had a corporate customer avatar and a corporate internal culture. And those 3 letters at the end of my name told them that somehow I understood their business better than anybody else that they were looking at to become part of their startup efforts. And the size of the first year contract with them was slightly larger than the total amount of money I paid for my MBA. So I monetized it in one swipe.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's an exception to every rule, right?
Yep, and that's how it works sometimes. I also see people who belong to masterminds, and they say, I keep coming to these meetings, I keep doing the coaching sessions with my coach, but I haven't made any money yet. I belong to one of the masterminds I belong to, Jim Palmer's Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program. I've been a member for 13 years, and I didn't get payoff on that until about 5 or 6 years in. But when I did get a strategy from being part of that group that brought me revenue, it brought me so much revenue all at once, all in one shot. And this was a separate deal than the one I just told you about, that it not only completely covered the years of money I'd put into belonging to that mastermind, but I think I'm still ahead in terms of how much it's paid off. I think I'm going to have another year of payments and belonging to that mastermind before we're finally even. So what I say about that is, things sometimes happen when you don't expect them, and you sometimes get those big hits all at once. So if this were the Family Feud, since we're talking about game shows, and we were doing the Fast Money, I would tell you that after you and your family member both answered the Fast Money questions, I would say, and the number one answer for question number 7 is, I wouldn't change a thing. If you look at the 150 Sir episodes he's done, that's the number one answer. Now let's go to question number 8. What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet? And what questions would you have for them if you had the opportunity to do so?
Now, this was another great question, and I would have to say, in line with what I already spoke about, would have to be Alex Trebek.
Oh, okay.
Alex Trebek. And the questions I would ask: what is his number one money secret? Like, we have a lot of, things that we're taught about money as we grow up, in programs that some of us have to break through. And I just would like to have, his point of view on what he learned about money and how he feels about money. So his number one money secret, that would be my first question. My second one would be, what advice would he give to his younger self? Because I like to hear people reflect on, the things that they've been through and how they may have overcome some things or whatever, things that they may have done differently. And the third one is, what did he learn about himself after he became famous that he didn't know before? Like, because, they say we all have similarities, and we're all, regardless of our levels of fame, we're all just people. So I would love to get his perspective on that.
Wow. That is actually pretty in-depth. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
Another great question. So my motivation is always my situation. I'm never satisfied. I don't care, how much progress I make. I'm obsessed with success. And it's always about me being the best version of myself, me beating myself from yesterday. So that is my motivation. And inspiration, it usually comes from people like yourself, meeting people on the internet, seeing people doing things, that I would want to do, having programs I may want to be a part of, or movements that I want to be a part of. Those are the things that inspire me. People that are doing things that I would like to do that I have not done yet. So that's really what inspires me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So final question here. Now, in a moment, I know you have an invitation for our audience. I'm going to share that on your behalf. Okay. But in general, since we're going to be done here in about a minute, what is one action, generally speaking, you would urge our listeners to take as soon as they finish streaming?
I would absolutely say, go out and serve somebody for no reason. I have a mentor. He says the most selfish thing you can do is serve somebody else. So if you really want to get ahead and get something out of life, go ahead and serve somebody. I think it might have been, was it Zig Ziglar who said that you get more, the quote I'm thinking about. What you get out of life. I'm having a little trouble right now. I'm trying to recall it. But,
it's all right. It's all right. I trip over the word susceptible. So yeah. So okay. But I get the point. We all know the Zig Ziglar quote. I think the gist of it is that in order to get more of what you want, give people more of what they want. I know I'm probably reversing it, but that's the gist of it.
We're going to paraphrase it. We're going to settle on that.
Yeah. Paraphrasing's good. Yeah. All right. So All right, so here is your invitation, and let me just pop, for those of you who are watching this on the companion YouTube channel or looking at the video version on www.brilliancepluspassion.com, you can see it on the screen. You can also see it within the notes underneath. It is a Facebook group. I'm not going to read off that little bunch of numbers at the end of it, but I will tell you that it is called, as I flip to my other tab here, it is called the Rules of Engagement Academy. And this is the, as Michael says, the only content challenge guaranteed to organically 10x your engagement leads and sales in less than 30 days. Hey, just for that, I would check this out. It's the Rules of Engagement Academy. Look at the note, look at the link in the show notes, go down there, check it out, and I think you're going to be in a really good place. So with that, Michael Douglas, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, an education.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you had me on this show. I appreciate that, Adam. Had a great time.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.